to everybody that has joined us. So really, this is just to give us a kickoff for the season. Introduce myself. Make sure that everybody is on board. And at the end, definitely gonna have a question and answer. Anyone that has questions throughout this, please go ahead and put it into the chat. And I'll either answer it right then, or I'll answer it at the end, or we'll answer it at the end. One person's saying that they can't hear me, but it seems like everyone else can. So you might need to turn your audio on. And sorry, I apologize. 1 second. Okay. So the first thing, first key thing that I'm gonna go over before introducing myself. Actually, I'll get started with introducing myself. So my name is Brad Jurgensen. I am the operator of I9 Sports. I've done this. This is coming up on my 4th season now. I went to school to be a CPA, but I love sports, and so little by little, I transitioned to this role. I've coached high school volleyball for a number of years with some very high level teams. And so I've had my toe in youth sports for quite a while. So for coaches, the first thing that I want to go over is the thing that probably bothers coaches the most when it isn't done right, with consistency with rules. Okay. So this is now my 4th season, and when I took over, the consistency of rules was very, very low, and we've improved every season. Okay. The biggest thing that I can ask all coaches to do that are within competitive sports, right? So that's primarily soccer, basketball, volleyball is simpler, and football. Okay, is that you demand a coach meeting at the beginning of each and every game. Every one of my staff. Okay, now please realize and have a little bit of patience with this. I wish I could just make everything happen as it should. They're all part-time staff. That, to be frank, sometimes as great as they are, sometimes they're going to miss some simple things. Okay, but I plead with you guys to demand a coach meeting. Okay, do not start a game unless that, if they haven't done a coach meeting, please say, hey, we need to have a coach meeting, and really encourage them and help them to get in the habit of reading that ref card. Okay, the ref card basically has the entire rule book on a little thing to make sure that there aren't changes from field to field, from ref to ref, from venue to venue. Okay, so that's the first big thing for everybody. Okay, next up, I want to go a little bit about the culture we're trying to create with our kids, with our parents, with our coaches, with our staff. Okay, the best time to teach, and we're going to touch a lot more on this in the parent meeting tomorrow as well. Okay, so the best way to teach your kids how to respect others, especially as the coach, is when we disagree with the ref. Okay, and we can do it in a right way. And so we're not going to be arguing refs calls. Okay, this is something that I've gone over with my staff to help them understand procedures when this doesn't happen, whether it's from coaches or from refs. And the main reason behind all this is about the kids. Okay, it's not about winning or losing. It's about the kids, and myself included. Us adults, we care way more about winning than just about any of these kids do. Okay, so we're not arguing. We're definitely not cursing at our fields. Okay, we're going to develop our players as people and players. Okay, while teaching them how to respectfully compete. Okay. To be frank, we lost a number of literally our best staff this last season because of coaches and parents that were irate over things that they should have not been irate over. Okay. The best refs and the best staff that we have better things to do on their Saturday. And they're not going to tolerate parents and coaches that are belittling and berating them. Okay. The ones that frankly aren't our best staff, they're going to stick around the more as you're angry, because there's frankly, they're going to be there more for that paycheck. Okay. So there's a lot of reasons to it, but we really need to create that culture, and that starts with the coaches. And I'd even ask you guys as parents, because as the parents on your team get frustrated, for you to ask them as you have a better relationship with them to calm them down. Our staff has procedures to address that, but if you guys help as well, that will definitely be helpful. Okay. One simple story on probably an appropriate way to react to reffing. This past season, I was reffing a football game. Maybe I'm biased, but I would see myself as one of the best youth football refs in the country. Okay. It's probably an exaggeration, but I do know what I'm doing. Um, I I missed a call. Okay. Not because I wasn't paying attention. From the angle I had, I just couldn't see the call. Okay. The coach reacted. He said there was like a stiff arm. He reacted really quick, and then like a split second later, he said, "Hey, sorry, I shouldn't have done that." Okay. I understand there will be quick reactions to things, but we really want you to react maybe, and then calm down, realize there are going to be missed calls. There's missed calls in the NFL level, there's gonna be missed calls at our rec league level. Okay. Again, if you guys have specific questions or things that I'm missing on or clarifying, just put it in on the chat and I'll see it. But besides, I'm just gonna keep going down my list. At the end, I'll open up for more question and answer. Okay. Next up, I call this section random nuggets. Okay, so we're gonna look really quickly at the venue maps for you guys. Let me share my screen. So this is to help you guys to understand this right now. Okay. So the Brandon Academy is very basic. So we're not going to look at that. Those that are going to Jefferson this season, okay? So we are playing the games on the football stadium field. So we're gonna have really good grass there for you. Okay. But one thing, if you guys, again, you guys can help us. We cannot have parents sitting with chairs on the stadium field, or we're not gonna be able to play our games there. Okay. So help us so that we can play on the stadium all season. Okay. The practice areas are for the most part over here. And then there's gonna be park for the gym sports. The parking is gonna be on the other side with the gym right here at the neighboring school. Okay. Rogers Middle School, for those that are doing basketball at Rogers. Okay. Basketball and volleyball are not at those that sign up for Riverview High School, or those that might have travel weeks to Riverview. We are not playing at Riverview High School this season. We're playing around the corner at Rogers Middle School. Okay. So no gym sports will be at Riverview High School this season. Okay. When you come into Rogers, you're going to follow the bus route, and you're going to park where the buses will normally park. And then once you're there, that'll be pretty basic. Now for Riverview High School, okay, the main thing to understand from this is football is at the front corner, okay? It can be chaotic week one because everybody sees us up front in the front corner, but we only have one sport up in that front corner, okay? All the other sports, you come down Balm Riverview or up if you're coming from that direction, okay? And all the other sports, soccer, multi-sport, tennis, baseball, will park down here, and those fields are back here, okay? Okay. Denise, if you could just send me an email from your question, and then we'll make sure that you get set up properly. Okay, next up, for my list to go over, which I lost my notes. There it is. Okay, the simple nuggets. Week one, you're gonna each get a coach bag to give all of your jerseys out. There'll also be a paper in there that has your team name on it that can be helpful to hold it up for your team so they can see what team you are. Okay. We are trying to create a habit for the younger ages of having parent tunnels after games. The kids love it. So help us to do that. For all of you coaches, we have a number of resources. I'm going to show you that here in a second, but one of the biggest resources, honestly, you have is I am very involved. Okay. I'm very active with my email. If you have questions about plays or how to run practice or anything, okay, reach out to me over email and I can give you quite a bit of insight, give you some ideas. You can bounce some ideas off of me if you're trying to just improve with coaching. Okay. I'm going to show you a couple of other things as far as resources that we have. We have whiteboards now at most of the fields, which have the games listed that day, as well as it has a little check mark for the coaches to check themselves in. If you guys can get in the habit of check marking those whiteboards, so then we aren't scrambling to make sure that we're covering for you because you didn't show up. That will really help us to make sure that those that didn't have a coach that day, that we can cover for them. Okay. Along those lines, to help us, to help all the players out there, we are going to give everyone a coach shirt. We really are going to stress this season that we really need you guys to wear that red I9 Sports coach shirt. That's to really protect the players. Just to make sure that we have proper people that have been vetted in order to be the coach. Okay. Some sports, football, maybe soccer, some sports have some bye weeks. It'll be listed in your game as instructional. Make sure you use that as that's a practice week. It's not a bye week, it's a practice only week. And then some of these will have double headers. So most of the teams that have, and I think all that have a practice week, have a double header as well. Okay. Okay. Some divisions travel. So I think that's the Riverview Brandon football divisions. The number of those travel. So make sure you're always checking which venue you're at. No one ever travels more than twice. Even if you're in a travel division, that might mean you travel 0 times. Okay. Team names, they're already assigned, but if you really want to have a different team name, email us, and if it's not taken, we can rename that. But we want to do that now, before we start doing it after week 1, and because that causes some more confusion. Okay. A few questions coming in. Let me back up. There's a few. Okay, so someone asked about sharing those files. I assume that was about the maps. The maps will be emailed out this Thursday or this Friday. Okay. Someone at Jefferson is asking about chairs on the track. Yes, we can do whatever we want with chairs on the track field. I believe we're gonna be able to put like benches on for the players. But again, we were trying to minimize traffic on that football stadium field. Okay. I think most parents, we had a choice to make: play on the field without chairs, or play games on the practice field with chairs. And I just think it's a better environment for the kids to have that nice, better field in the stadium. Okay. Someone's asking about parents on the field. We don't want to have parents on the field. The youngest ages, I'd say like 6 and under. They Parents will sometimes migrate onto the field a little bit. The best way to address that is honestly if you're not comfortable with saying, hey, we have this, is let a staff know, and the staff can help them to get off. Sometimes those younger ages are harder, but I do agree that a lot of times the coaches are there to coach, and we want to have the parents off on the side. Okay. So as far as parents being allowed on the field, that's one side where parents are young and really trying to help, because their kids aren't paying attention. But as you get older, you coaches are in charge of coaching the team, not the parents from the sideline. Okay, we talked about culture. One of the culture is we aren't wanting parents coaching and yelling from the sideline either. Okay, reach out to me, talk to a staff member there if that is happening, and we can address that with the parent. Okay. Um, so someone else asked about different itinerary for the season. Practice plan is what I'm getting at. I'm going to show you guys, everybody has practice plans, which you guys can use. I'm going to show you some of those options. Or you can go on your own. You guys do have some freedoms, but we have a lot of stuff to help you out. Okay. I'm going to go back to my agenda. I'm going to hit on some of those questions in a second. And then last thing that I had right here, as far as just a simple little nugget, just similar playing time is a must. Similar touches as well. Okay. By that, basketball is probably a good example as far as similar touches. you should try to rotate who's bringing the ball up the court. Okay. We all know in the NBA, the point guard brings the ball up the court. Okay. And I guess if we're really getting technical in the NBA now, the point guard doesn't even bring it up the court. Whoever has the ball brings it up the court. We want to rotate who brings the ball up the court. Okay. In football, try to make sure that everybody is touching the ball at least 1 or 2 times in a game. Okay. Football can be harder, but you really have to think about it and try to make sure you do it. Playing time, again, similar. A good way again, we want to win more than them. The lesser experienced players, sometimes it's best to get them the ball at the beginning of the game, okay? Or put them in at the beginning. Because if you keep waiting, then you have to put them in at the end. It can make it harder on you. So please make sure you get them in early, and it makes it much simpler. Okay. Okay, so here are the resources that we have for you guys. The first one is staff assistance. Okay. If you email me, okay, because you're missing a week, because you feel you're not experienced enough, because you said you wanted to only be an assistant and no other coaches volunteered. So big thank you to some of you guys. I'm not trying to bait and switch you. You were simply the only person that volunteered. Okay. But with that being said, if you feel less experienced, you need anything from us, email me during the week. Okay. Some coaches have already emailed me and said, hey, this week I'm gone. This week I'm gone all season. Please have it covered for me. That helps me so much. Emails that come in on Friday, I will normally catch them, but it is very difficult for us to cover properly if I get an email on Friday saying that you guys won't be there. Now I do understand that will happen at times. Still email me and I'll hopefully catch it. But Monday, Tuesday, email me and say, hey, I'm gonna be gone, or hey, I've been struggling to really have effective practices. Can a staff member come and help me? Okay. A number of you this first week that are brand new, email me. Okay. Now, if everybody's emailing me, we probably won't be able to help everybody, but we really do a pretty good job at helping the coaches that need help. Okay. My email is basically any email that you have received from us. If you reply to it, it goes to me. The other 2 emails that you might receive from are zach.caracia@i9sports.com and dom.valdez@i9sports.com. So those ones are not me, but the league office 29@i9sports.com email goes straight to me. And then the brad.jurgensen email goes straight to me. Okay. I'm pretty active with my email. Okay. One email and it's pretty quick that I'll get back within, I mean, I'll say worst case 48 hours, but it's not rare. I'm back with you guys within a few hours. Okay. So that's one thing. The other thing is we have what's called the mobile sports app. And a lot of this I'm going to send in link to you guys as well. Let me share my screen. So you all have access to this through your i9 Sports account. This is the mobile sports app. Okay. So this is awesome for you guys. So you have little courses in here. One of the people for i9 Corporate, he's worked with the he was very high up with the National Olympic Committee. Okay. So we have a lot of really good stuff. It talks about literally different age groups, how you should go about coaching them. There's even how to properly coach girls. Okay. It's honestly some really good stuff in there. You also have specific for your sport. It has the rule book. So I'll go into flag football. So it has practice plans. Okay. It has videos. It has the rule book. It has playbooks for you. So it has all these different playbooks. Okay. Even though we play 5-on-5 typically, even the 7-on-7, you can get some ideas from that playbook. Within the practice plans, there's a few different options that you have. Okay. Hopefully I don't get yelled at by corporate, but I'll be honest, the ones that are given by them that typically will say Pee Wee, Junior, Senior, there is some good stuff in it and it goes week by week. I would not say that if you follow this to a T throughout the season, that it's going to be the best practice in the world. It's a good starter for you. And if you have nothing else, it is really good. Okay. Some of you guys will look at some of these practice plans and not love it, and that's okay. You don't need to feel obligated to use it. The other thing within this for all of you, within the practice plans, the very first one is something that I've created. And I think it's a very good resource for a number of reasons. Okay, so it basically gives you a basic practice plan to follow for each sport throughout the season. Okay, on top of that, if you tap here for every sport, it goes to a coaching video link where I have created a number of videos for each sport. And if you guys want more, I can create more. And it goes over different drills that you can run with your team. Okay. Again, if you guys, I've coached all of these sports a good number of times. Any questions that you have or any videos you want, I'll throw an I9 shirt on my kids and I'll go out and we'll run and create a drill for you or show you guys a drill. Okay. Um, so as far as itinerary, you guys even get this emailed to you every week. You get emailed this, hey, it's week 2, here's your practice plan. Okay. Again, you can use that. You don't need to feel obligated to. You can use so essentially for practice, you have 3 options. You can use the I9 corporate practice plans that will be emailed to you. Option 2, you can click into this where you can sort of get an idea for a rough practice plan that frankly you can use all season. Okay. Option 3, those that are experienced, you can go ahead and just run your own practice plan. Really, if you're trying to do as good as possible, it would probably be a combination of, hey, what is I9 Sports offering me? What's on this basic practice plan? And then what personal experience do I have that I can bring to the table as well? Okay. So this is the I9 mobile coach app. Okay. So if you look that up on your phone, the mobile coach app will be emailing you as well, which will include the link for that. It will also include the link to all the different video playlists for your sport. Okay. And then also in here, I touched on this, but the rule books are in here. So a big thing is when I got here, I already mentioned this at the beginning, the rules were all over the place a year ago, from what I heard. The rule books, they've got to be 99%, if not 100%, how I want these games to be refed. Okay, there's gonna be some discretion with different things with the coaches, but we have a rule book that's been that it has the rules in there how we want them to be properly refed. The refs have a ref card, which again summarize that they'll go over with you at the beginning of each game. Okay, again, a reminder for those that showed up late: demand a coach meeting at the beginning of each game, because that ref card will make sure that both coaches and the ref are on the same page with the rule enforcement for that age group. Okay. Let me pause for a second to just see if anything's coming through the chat. Okay. And then the last thing, and this is probably like 2 more minutes, and then I'll open up for Q&A, but it'll just be through the chat. Few little coaching tips. Okay. Think about the 3 L's to not do: no laps, no lines, no lectures. Okay. By no laps, right? If you want to warm them up, have them warm up with the ball. Okay. Instead, there's going to be lines, but hey, how can we, instead of having 1 line of 10 kids, let's try to figure out how this can be 3 lines. Okay. Especially have an assistant coach. That's why you should all ask your parents, hey, I can run this team, but even if you have no experience, I could definitely use a second assistant coach to help me out. Okay. And a second coach to help you out is huge. So I do a lot to try to ask parents to help out. You guys just ask your parent, hey, would you be able to register this week so you could help me out here? I'll lead. I just need someone else to help with the line. Okay. This helps out a lot to just create a text thread with your team. Okay. And I think that's the main stuff. So, the final thing, and then I'll open up for question and answer. Okay, I'll go through the chat to see if anything that I missed in the question and answer, and then I assume there's gonna be a bunch that will come through. But the last thing I'm gonna say first, big, big, big thank you. Okay, and I guess I can stop that screen share. Big thank you. I truly appreciate all that you coaches do. Sometimes I feel bad for asking coaches to do so much, but I know that as of a year ago, and even in other rec leagues or different leagues that I play in or that my kids participate in, I'm always wanting to volunteer. I truly think that volunteer coaching, as all of you guys are doing, is the best thing that you can do for your kids. And it's also going to make you a better parent. It's going to help you to be a better coach for your kids at home, which is going to help them learn the sport better. And then last thing, remember, demand a coach meeting. Okay. If you guys complain to me about refs, I'm probably going to ask you first thing, hey, did you have a coach meeting at the beginning? One other thing I did miss actually on about the refs. Each week we do send out a ref review form, okay, where you can rate the ref and give us some feedback. Okay. We can't be at every single game, but you are. Please fill that out with somewhat consistency. Okay. Let us know who's doing well. Let us know who needs some training. Okay. And that will be very helpful for us. Okay. So with that, that covers my agenda. So if you feel like that covers everything for you, feel free to jump off, but I'm going to go through this chat. I'm going to just read through a question at a time and try to spit out some answers. 15-year-olds cannot coach. They have to they need to be 16 to be an official coach. If you guys have if you guys have an event, right? If you can't be to a game, again, that just email me ahead of time, hopefully not the day before, as well as in advance. I notated that we're going to cover for you. Okay. Someone asked about chairs at Riverview. So Riverview is all outdoor. We can have chairs wherever we want out there. Okay. I gave my email. Someone's asked about the emailed practice plans that deferred from the plans within the app. That's pretty rare. The only ones that are going to be different are probably going to be the multi-sport. Everything else is going to show you week 1 through week 7 the same. And then again, you have that basic practice plan in there as well. Multi-sport, every season we change up the order of the season for different needs. So that's why multi-sport can be out of order sometimes. You guys each on i9sports.com. And we're actually, I'm going to put a note in here. We have a 3-minute video. I'll email this out tomorrow. Include an email for coaches. I'm just getting this note down for me. The how to i9sports.com video. Sorry for thinking out loud. I can't multitask. There is on i9sports.com, if you log in, okay, there's a coach section up top, and I'm going to send an email that has a 3-minute video on how to navigate the website as a coach. And in that, it shows all of your kids' names, the parents' phone numbers, the parents' emails, your whole schedule. So on i9sports.com, even without the video, you can log on and you should be able to figure it out. But I will be able to go ahead and email the sorry. And sorry, I cannot multitask. An email came in, so I get sidetracked. You'll be able to figure it out if you just get on i9sports.com, but I will put out that video as well tomorrow. Okay. You'll also, in your coach bag, you will have a printed list of the kids' names on your roster. Okay. As you hand out the jerseys. Okay. For practice and games, you can basically expect you'll have everything that you need to run practice. There should always be plenty of balls. They should be pumped. There should be cones. Someone asked about whistles and pennies. Whistles, we almost guaranteed will not have for you. If you're there and you really want one, you could probably ask a staff member and they might be able to find one for you. Pennies, we do have. Sometimes they don't get out to the field. So if you have a specific request to get pennies, probably email me and I'll try to make sure that we get them out to your field. Okay. Someone's asking by when we need to know if they want to be a coach or an assistant coach. Honestly, sooner than later, because the background check can take anywhere from 2 seconds to over a week sometimes. A lot of it depends on what counties you've lived in before. Okay. As far arriving to practice, I would just tell everyone, I tell everyone this, if the practice is at 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock, you should definitely aim to be ready at the fields at least a couple minutes before that practice starts. Because if you aim to be there on time, once you hit traffic, once you take 3 extra minutes to park, when someone catches you while you're walking up, all of a sudden you're going to be 10 minutes late to practice. So I would just encourage you guys to plan on, there's going to be issues to get on time. Just really try to be early, a little early to practice as the coach. Okay. Flag football everywhere is 5 versus 5. I say everywhere. For the most part, it's 5 versus 5. Certain older divisions, there's at Riverview. The oldest division at Riverview is 6 versus 6. And then the youngest divisions are sometimes 4 versus 4, I believe is what we're doing this season. Okay. Someone's asking to touch on T-ball. So I'll go over that pretty quickly. Not Andrew, you can give more of a question if I don't touch on it. T-ball, the 5 and under age group. We basically go out, you have the 30-minute practice. I really like the basic practice plans that I have for that. And I also believe that I have some really good videos for baseball coaches on different things to teach, and they're pretty quick and succinct. But you could run practices for the full season based on the few videos I have in there. Okay. So it's about 30-minute practice, and then during the game, you basically bat through the lineup. The players in the field, we try to put them in position and teach them pizza slices. There's a video on how to do pizza slices and really coach the players. You stay in your area, throw the ball to first base. Everybody doesn't chase after it. And you really try to teach them don't dive for the ball and only go after the ball if it's at you. Okay. Someone asked about what should be discussed in the coach meeting. Let me share. This is in my notes earlier, but I skipped over it. But since someone's asking, I'm going to share my screen to show you guys what the coach meeting should look like. So for every competitive sport, okay, and I say competitive, basically if you keep score, okay. The refs have a paper that looks like this on a laminated piece of paper, okay? It's attached to them, it's on a lanyard now, which is on their whistle that they get each day. So there's really not many excuses for them to not have it. If they ever don't have that card and they're giving you excuses for why they can't use it, again, I'm just trying to throw this out. I'm trying to help you guys in that moment. It is on their phone and they all have access to it on their phone and they should know where that is. So it literally, the way a ref meeting should go, and I'll go through this quickly, because it should be sort of be a two-way conversation, but most of them should start out with say, hey coaches, thanks for coming. First off, is there any sort of questions you've had the past couple of weeks that hasn't seemed consistent, right? 1 week is this way and 1 week is that way. Okay. Right there, you guys can give a response, and the answer is more likely than not on this paper. Okay. So if you guys feel like you guys have a disagreement with what they say, check that page, check that paper, or check that mobile sports app, okay, while you're at home. Go in the rule book and see what the rule book says, okay, so we can get it right, okay. They'll go over the clock. Hey, so just so you know, the clock is going to be like this, okay. There's a play clock like this. There's a pass clock like this many timeouts, okay. This is how the clocks, I'm going down here. These are the specific rules that are often controversial, right? So for football, okay, it's going to say like, hey, 2 kids that are falling isn't necessarily tackling, okay? They're going to say hey, at this age, we're not going to enforce lost yards. At this age, we're not going to enforce safeties, okay? So they're just basically going over the basic rules and how that specific age division would be done, okay? So hopefully that answers that question, but it should be a solid 2 to 3 minutes. Week 7 is as important for coach money as week 1, because again, you never know who's being consistent out there. And this is going to help you guys to really be comfortable with all of that. Okay. So someone's asking about coaches, about players meeting as captains. We've gone away from that just because it honestly takes away from the kids playing. If you have specific ideas or reasons why you'd want there to be captains at the beginning of the game, you guys can reach out to me. I don't necessarily know if I'd make the change this season, but we're really just trying to get the game started so they can play more. Okay. For basketball, we have the referees, they now have they're in charge of the scoreboard. We have a Bluetooth scoreboard. So they're keeping the scoreboard. We don't keep we're we're not giving books. We're not doing, hey, who scored this many points, but the referee, our staff is in charge of the scoreboard. Okay. Um, Someone asked about finding answers on the app or the website. Again, the mobile sports app you can download to your phone or i9sports.com. Okay. Everyone needs a background check to coach. So even 16-year-olds, if a 16-year-old or 17-year-old is wanting to coach, the parent needs to fill out a parental consent form to fill out a background check. You'll need to email me to get that set up. Okay. Someone again asked about materials that are provided by i9 Sports. We have, again, flags, cones, footballs provided for practices and games. Honestly, I'd recommend before when I was a part of i9 just as a parent, I mean, I bought most of the stuff just so I'd have it to use with my kids. But as far as what is going to be at the field, we'll have plenty for you. Okay. Each week, you guys are, or sorry, throughout the season, you're to give a sportsmanship medal to each player. Okay. So if you have 100 players on your team, which no one does, you should be giving out 13 medals a week. Okay. Some weeks, to be honest, we are going to run out of medals. Just put it down. Hey, next week I'm gonna give out 2 medals or 3 medals to catch up. Okay. Um, so that's how that goes with the medals. So that you don't forget, on i9sports.com, you can actually track who you've given the medals to. For me, that doesn't even work as well. I just use the notes app in my phone to say who does it. And I can't remember 2 minutes later who got the sportsmanship medal, but these kids really care about it. So if you can ever not remember who you gave it to, if you ask your child, it is unreal. My kids can tell me every sportsmanship medal that was given out all season, okay? Because they all are really looking forward to that sportsmanship medal, okay? Someone asked about multi-sport at Riverview. That sport at Riverview is going to be soccer this season, okay? Yeah, there's plenty of balls out on the field. The login for the Coach Mobile is the same login that you have for i9sports.com. Okay, so whatever email you have on file. There's also a forgot your password link on there so if you can't do it, but that would reset your password on i9sports.com. Okay. There are a few. Rob, if you could email me, you said that it says the practice and game time are the same. If you could email me that so I could just double check that. There are a couple of divisions, and I'm wondering if this is you, Rob, that are round robin. So there's two of those at Jefferson, I believe, for soccer and football, and then another football round robin. Basically how that does look weird in the app, okay, or on i9sports.com in the schedule, because you have two modified games and one or two practices. Also, the oldest basketball division at Rogers Middle School. Okay. Um, so that might look unique. That might be why you see multiple games and multiple practices. Really, if you worry about showing up to that first time, well, it'll work out once you're there. Okay. Um, the there might be one change for Jefferson, the oldest Jefferson football group. I'm going to be trying to add another team, so we would eliminate that round robin. The game times would still be pretty similar. But if you're from Jefferson football, be on the lookout for that. We're hoping to add another team. Okay. Um, to get your coach bag on week one, you'll it'll happen pretty naturally, but the first thing you do there, once you see a staff member, ask, hey, where can I get my coach bag to give out my jerseys? Okay. Someone's asking about emailing certifications for doing the coach trainings. We received that, so no need to email it to us. Someone's asking if I attend the games. I am very involved. I am going nonstop 6 a.m. until 4 o'clock at night, or much later actually, to get eyes on as many things as possible. I'm over 3 venues, so I don't obviously attend all the games, but I do try to get eyes on a good number of them. I have 2 other full-time staff, so between us three, we get eyes on quite a bit of different events. We've also gone through a lot of new hires this past season, where frankly we didn't need to get new hires based on our numbers, but we saw where we could improve in different areas with different staff. So we're actually pretty excited with some of the staff that we're bringing out, along with the training that we've offered them. Okay. Soccer, especially Pee Wee soccer, we don't enforce offsides. Someone's asking about to contact the coach on the. Oh yeah, to contact the other coach on your team. Absolutely. So through i9sports.com, and you have the emails and phone numbers for the other coaches on your team and for the parents on your team. I would encourage you guys to reach out to the other coach on the team beforehand. Connect, even send a text to the entire team, start a team text thread. Um, Someone else asking about what size football we're using. Um, Footballs, so third, so at Riverview, third grade and on Riverview and Jefferson, no, sorry, Riverview and Brandon, third grade and under are considered Pee Wee. Fourth grade and over are considered junior footballs. At Jefferson High School, fourth grade and under, based on the different divisions we have, fourth grade and under will be using Pee Wee. And then the oldest fifth to seventh grade division, they will be using junior footballs. Okay, so that's all the questions that I have. I know everybody's been here in a while. This has been weird. I'm just talking to myself, but I think it's worked out. Um, so I'll let everyone trickle out. Um, if there's if there's more questions anybody has, keep putting them on. But again, big thank you to everybody. I'm really here to help you. Reach out to me as you have questions. Um, and and from there I will stick on. If someone wants me to unmute them, just if they want to talk a little bit more, I can definitely do that. But I will stay on and be silent until if I see other chats come through, I'll respond. And if you want to just send me a chat that you want to literally get on, start talking, go ahead and let me know. But thank you all for coming, and we'll see you guys Saturday. Someone is asking about multi-sport soccer only. No, so multi-sport, the first sport we're doing is soccer. So 2 or 3 weeks, I believe 3 weeks this season will be soccer, and then we'll switch to either baseball or football after soccer for the multi-sport. All right. Well, thank you guys. I'm gonna step out. I'm not seeing anything else come through. If anyone, oh, more questions. Here we go. Someone asking about assigning snacks. So coaches do have the option through i9sports.com to go ahead and literally assign. And then parents also have the option to go on and just choose it for them. Frankly, I've never even worried about snacks, and it's either worked out or it hasn't. Maybe I don't care enough about the kids on my team when I coach. But it's for the most part worked out. Parents seem to find the snack sign up, and more often than not, without me doing much of anything, most weeks the kids do get snacks. But yes, you are able to assign it through i9sports.com. And then absolutely, as parents should, all parents are responsible to bring water, whatever their kid truly needs. But there is an option for anyone to volunteer to bring snacks for their entire team. Awesome. Okay. Well, I don't see anything else coming through, so type now or forever hold your peace. If and we will see you. So I'll give a little countdown then in my head, and then I'm gonna hang up. So thank you guys very much. You last survivors here. Enjoy your day. We'll see you guys Saturday.